I have 21 sketches set in a park that resembles Toronto's High Park, and all of them have to do with romance. I thought I would read one this afternoon. I call it The Spirits of the Forest. Pierre, the choreographer, and Louise, one of his principal dancers, strolled along a path near the park's eastern edge, away from the crowd that headed for the amphitheater. They'd be late for the show, and when they got there, they'd have to hang behind rows of people lounging on blankets. They had their own production to pull together that was supposed to open in a month, and they needed to create a 10-minute number pretty quick. What's more, do you think our romance is over? Louise asked. I hope not, he said absent-mindedly, and told her his latest idea, the best he could do at almost the last moment. A child punished, he said, locked in a closet. He told Louise to crouch down. The child liberates herself, first by imagination, and then in reality, and runs away. He asked her to leap several times. She grimaced and danced down the path beneath the temporary arbor that summer foliage had created. Passers-by stopped to watch. The park has always been a place for free shows. Louise, taking deep breaths after her workout, asked in an acerbic tone if that sort of thing happened to him. He ignored her. Now pretend you're moving around our stage. Act out turning points in the child's story, stuff you've thought up on your own. It will cost you if I have to make up the story too. Despite her dissatisfactions, Louise didn't miss a beat. She's lost in the woods and doesn't want to go home because of her stepmother. She meets a wolf, and by the power that comes to a few children, she turns the animal into her friend, who guides her and protects her from the spirits of the forest. Music from the interlude to the show assaulted the air. Unvarying drum beats, clacking sticks, a nasty, persistent whistle. Then a witch tempts, torments, and threatens the girl, Pierre said. The wolf puts a golden lasso around the witch. They move on through the forest, which becomes denser and more frightening. They find a hut, which turns out to be gingerbread, Louise said. What part am I supposed to dance? This sucks. Not if you give yourself to the story, Pierre said, as if you always knew best. Dance the movements around the stage. Why can't I dance the trees instead, Louise said, what they say to me. Find music for that. The slow oak, the swaying willow, the young maple that shakes its jostling leaves. Stillness when the wind dies down. That can be a 60-second interlude, Pierre said. Louise raised her voice a notch. Is that what I am for you? A pause between more important things. Pierre said he had no idea his thoughts and feelings mattered to her. Then you haven't much feel for life, as I suspected. They walked and talked and disagreed, and said they'd be lost if they abandoned one another just then. They reached a clearing a few feet from the show, a play partly about young people astray in a forest. Let's go, Pierre said. They dashed into the playing area and moved among the actors, twisting, jumping, dancing together. The audience, unaware of the story behind their trespass, broke into applause, the best part of the show so far. Pierre and Louise, laughing hand in hand for the first time in a week, exited on the opposite side of the stage from their entrance point. The woodland spirits, if they existed, would still be hiding deep in the shadows of the trees, beneath boulders and in the flow of streams, longing for the day when they would live in a real forest and work bigger wonders than minor repairs to one romance. Thank you.